What's up, YouTube? For today's video, we'll be full heavy metal ability Pokemon team. I'll be using 6 Pokemon with the heavy metal ability, and what the heavy metal does is it doubles the weight of the Pokemon. Now, there's only a couple of Pokemon that actually get this ability, surprisingly. So we got the Aggron line, the Bronzong line, Copperajah line, we got the Duraludon as well. So that's pretty much it. I thought there'd be more Pokemon with it, but alas, there is not. If you do want to check me out on Twitch, people, this is where I do all my theme teams, Pokemon suites, all that sort of stuff. Links in the description of the video. I've got 2 battles today with the heavy metal ability team. Now, it is to be noted, I have done a team kind of similar to this. I did it based around weight moves of the Pokemon. So if you like this sort of thing, I have done it in the past. But I do plan to cover all Pokemon abilities eventually. So I just wanted to, probably touch on this team one more time. So we got a Vileplume lead here. This is against Peeps a lot. And we got an interesting theme team over the other side of the field too. So if you can guess what the opponent's team is, let me know in the comment section of the video. One if you can guess it. So I've got this Bronzong, right? It's based around weight, and it's got the heavy metal, of course, so its weight is doubled. And with Trick and its item Float Stone, what I can do is I can trick the Float Stone to the Vileplume and halve the opponent's weight. That way, Heavy Slam will do more damage. I did a similar set kind of recently, but this one's got some little bit of extra stuff too. So I've got Skill Swap, and I've also got Grass Knot on there as well. Now that's kind of based around another set too. So Grass Knot works better on a heavy opponent. So I thought I could also make use of Skill Swap, giving the opponent heavy metal and then hitting the Grass Knot because, obviously their weight will be doubled and Grass Knot will do more damage. I thought that Bronzong set was really, really cool. Like, making use of not only a light Pokemon, but making use of a heavy Pokemon on the same set, which is really, really cool. So Vileplume's going to go for a grass move, then a Pollen Puff. I think it did Solar Beam. It didn't really have a lot to hit with. I just went for a couple of heavy slams, and that was enough to take out. It's not too often that a grass and poison Pokemon will be able to get around a steel type, unless they've got something like, I don't know, Weather Ball, you know what I mean? So in comes Gardevoir. I'm going to swap out the Bronzong, and now I'm going to go into the Bronzong. So this team of Pokemon really wasn't fast. I only had one Pokemon that had a bit of speed about it. So we got a knockoff, a physical Gardevoir, taking my Everlight right off there. I've got Skill Swap on this Bronzong too. I've got Trick Room, Heavy Slam, and Toxic. I just sort of think about it. A Bronzong using Heavy Slam. Like, that'd be just like getting hit by, like, I don't know, a dinner plate. Well, probably not a dinner plate. What is it made out of? Steel or something like that? Or I don't know. A cast iron plate just smashing into you. That would actually really, really hurt. Anyway, back to the battle here. I've got Heavy Slam as super effective, but unfortunately this Gardevoir went for Will-O-Wisp. So I decided to go for the Skill Swap here and give the Gardevoir heavy metal. So I got Synchronized as the ability, and now what I can do is I can maybe swap that that Bronzong in and go for the Grass Knot. However, the Gardevoir is going to go for Memento and drop my stats. It's like, wow, I didn't expect Memento on the Gardevoir. So bye-bye Gardevoir, it fainted itself and dropped my Bronzor's stats. So I wonder what that set was. So I had Will-O-Wisp and I had Memento. Maybe it only had, I don't know, status moves. I don't really know at this point. So in comes Butterfree here. Now, Butterfree's probably going to be able to destroy me. I'm going to swap there. I might be able to leave it for a little bit later on the game, maybe for like a Trick Room or something. So swapping an Aggron here. Now, Aggron is going to be quite useful under the Trick Room. It's going to get hit by a Bug Buzz. I've got the Focus Sash as the item too. Now, I've got on this set Rock Polish, Heavy Slam, Head Smash, and Endeavor. Now, knowing my luck, right at this point, I was like, well, I could go for the Head Smash. That'll definitely take it out. How about I go for Endeavor, put it on 1 health, and then I'll just bring another Pokemon in to take it out. So Butterfree's going to take me out with the second Bug Buzz there. So bye-bye little Aggron. And I've got a couple of more Pokemon left. The only Pokemon I didn't include on this team, just thinking about it right now, is Lairon. I think I included all the others. So I had Aggron. Yeah, that was the only one I didn't include. There's like literally 7 Pokemon, I think. I'm not including the G-Max there. So we got the Bronzong go for a Grass Knot. It's not often you get to see Butterfree going for, Butterfree getting KO'd from a Grass Knot. It's very, very rare because of all those resistances. So bye-bye Butterfree. That was a good episode, by the way. I cried so much when I was a kid when watching that one. Anyway, back to the battle. We got the Weezing coming in. It's going to go for Explosions. Like, whoa, I thought it might go for, like, Flamethrower or, a fire type move or just some sort of coverage move. But it's going to go boom, and that was actually enough to take out my Bronzong. Now, Bronzong wasn't running any bulk at all. As I mentioned earlier, it was max attack and max special attack. So say if I was running any bulk, I could have actually lit that, because Wheezing's attack, well, it really isn't that good. So next Pokemon to come in is going to be Charizard. It's not shiny though, I wish it was. And now we've got the Bronzong coming in. So Charizard must have some... I know, it must have some sort of fire type move, and it's going to go for fire spin. So it must be some sort of like scummy trapping set. So I went for Trickery. I thought, well, I get that Trickery up, and then I can go for Heavy Slam on a Charizard and do 1 damage. I'm like, I might do... Actually, no, I'm only going to do 1 because I'm burned. But if I wasn't burned, I could have done 2. So I've got the Fire Spin hurting me, and now Charizard is going to go for Protect. So I see what the set is. It's a scummy Fire Spin Protect Charizard. I'm trying to think what other moves it might have something like a recovery move like Roost or something, and then maybe one other move. Maybe it's got Will-O-Wisp as well. So Bronzong, unfortunately, is going to faint there due to that Protect, and it was already a low health already from that Fire Spin. Now, next Pokemon we're going to bring in here is going to be Duraludon. So mostly on these sets, I always ran a move that was based around weight, like Heavy Slam. And I just got a couple of other coverage moves there, like Sword Dance, Brick Break, and Outrage. This was sort of limited for any of those weight-based moves. Now, Charizard is going to go for Will-O-Wisp. I was like, oh, okay, I knew that I had Will-O-Wisp, and now Duraludon is burned, and I'm going to go for a Sword Dance. That's 2 Pokemon on their team with Will-O-Wisp. So this Charizard has Will-O-Wisp, Fire Spin, and Protect. I have to say, it's probably got Roosters as other move. It has to have some form of recovery. Or maybe it didn't have Mystical Fire. It's like, oh, okay, it's got Mystical Fire. And Duraludon gets dropped in one shot by a crit. I was like, wow, that was really unlucky. That was super unlucky. So poor Duraludon and didn't get to do anything. But I can tell you what, it gets to do a lot in the next battle. Bringing in the big Aggron here. I've always liked Aggron, and like shiny Aggron looks awesome. I like Mega Aggron too. I'm misusing that. Oh, there's another strategy based around this. So I've got this low kick set, but I don't think in this... No, not in this battle I don't get to do it, but in the next one I do. I'll just tell you what my moveset are anyway. So we've got low kick, Heavy Slam, Body Press, and Avalanche. At this point in the game, I really didn't have a lot to hit Charizard with. Charizard was actually... a really, really good counter. So this was a max health and max attack set with Adamant Nature. I've got Choice Band as my item too. Now, Avalanche, I thought, well, let's get the hail going so I can get some damage on this Charizard, right? According to the nickname on Charizard, this should be super effective, you know what I mean? So anyway, I go for that Avalanche, and it did 3 damage. So that's kind of unfortunate, but really, I only had 1 other Pokemon left, and it wasn't really going to be doing like that much damage anyway. It was my Copperajah. So Copperajah had like, very similar moves, and like a ground type move, and it was walled, so I had to go into Aggron. So Charizard is taking a little bit of damage, but it's got leftover too, so it's healing up all the the hail damage I'm doing to it, unfortunately. So what I need to do here is I need to hit it with as many like avalanches or max hailstorms as possible, So here comes Fire Spin with Charizard. It's doing minimal damage, but it's going to start doing damage at the end of the turn. So I'm guessing a Mystical Fire is going to be coming my way next turn. So dropping another couple of big old ice balls on top of Charizard. It's going to need like another, I reckon another 3 maybe to take it out there. Well, probably I won't be able to do 3 because Dynamax ends next turn, but yeah, probably another 2 avalanches after that. It's going to be very, very close. Now, Avalanche does get boosted as you go second, so I thought that might be enough to take it out. But I've got one more here. That's my only move I can really go for. I did contemplate going for Max Knuckle, but I thought, well, by the time I do that, I would have got more damage off with Max Hailstorm anyway, so I might as well just keep using that move. At least it's going to do something, right? Imagine getting stalled out by a Charizard, using a physical move, only got PIMPNITE Shadow. So Charizard's fine. It's getting very, very close to being in the red, and that's the end of my Dynamax. I had to use up my Dynamax, sadly. I wish I didn't, but that's how it turned out. So we got some more damage with the Will-O-Wisp. I'm on half health, and I got hit by both those things, so Will-O-Wisp and Fire Spin. That is the end of Aggron's Dynamax there. So I can go for Avalanche now with a Choice Band, and here comes the Mystical Fire. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to get dropped here. Aggron, I don't know how Aggron lived that. I think it just must have been max health, because if you think about that Duraludon, that got dropped there. So pouring a little bit of ice cream on top of Charizard there, and you know what? It was enough to take it out because the hail hit it first, so that was really, really good. But I actually went down to the bird as well. But I take that one. It's an eye for an eye, people. So we've now only got 1 more Pokemon left, and we've got Clefable as the last Pokemon. Now, I do know they haven't Dynamax yet. Now, my last Pokemon is going to be Copperajah. Now, this set, the only bad thing is Heavy Slam doesn't... Wait, look at this. Like, wait, I can't do anything. Because none of these moves affect Dynamax Pokemon. And I know they haven't Dynamax yet, so I was like, uh-oh, this is very, very bad. I think I've lost here, but just in case they're not going to go for Dynamax this turn, I went for the Heavy Slam, and of course, the Clefable is going to go for its Dynamax there. So like, well, I could have gone for Curse there, but I don't even know what sort of set this is going to be anyway, right? So Dynamax Clefable. Now, this Copperajah has got max health and it's got max attack, and I think it's just Brave Nature. It's like a Quick Claw variant too. I like running the Quick Claw fissures there. It actually works pretty well. So here comes a Max Steel Spike. I'm like, Max Steel Spike, that's interesting. So unfortunately for me, it's going to actually raise Clefable's defense. I wanted to use Heavy Slam against it, but the good thing is I might be able to live these attacks. So Heavy Slam obviously is going to fail there. That's so broken. Like, Dynamax is so broken. Like, there's so many things that fail against it. Anyway, now I can see that it's got a Toxic Orb, so I'd say it's got, Magic Guard, obviously, and all I can do here is go for Curse. I wish I had some sort of recovery move. Now Clefable's going to go for another Max Steel Spike here, so that's going to give it a +2 in defense there. So I was like, man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to beat this with Heavy Slam. I mean, it'll still do some reasonable damage, but maybe I should go for Curses here, in case. I mean, I do have Fissure, there is that, but I'd have to get lucky, and it depends what other moves this Clefable has. At this stage, I was thinking, well, the Clefable must be using Meteor Mash, as it's, a physical move. Now it's going to go for Max Starfall here. I'm guessing this one's coming off Play Rough, and now Copperajah is below half health, so this is very, very bad. So the Misty Terrain is on the field. I mean, that actually did like almost as much as the Max Steel Spike. So I don't think Clefable has a lot to hit me with at this stage. So go for another Curse here, and now I've equaled the Clefable's boost in defense with my attack. So things are good right now. Heavy Slam should do a lot of damage because I don't think Clefable's, I don't think it's that heavy either, Clefable. I wouldn't remember its weight off the top of my head. So going for the Heavy Slam anyway, I get a nice little Quick Claw, and here comes a big old Heavy Slam on the Clefable, and it takes it out in one shot. I'm like, damn, that was crazy. So that's going to be the end of Clefable right there, and that's also the end of the battle. Hope you people enjoyed that. Let's get on to battle number 2. Now, in this second battle, I actually get to use Duraludon. It doesn't get one-shotted, and I get to show my Aggron low kick strategy. So as we were talking about before, right, with my Bronzong having that Trick Heavy Slam, Skill Swap, and Grass Knot set, I wanted to try and do something with Aggron too. So Aggron's got low kick, so I'm going to be doing something similar, well, as best as I can. So first Pokemon's going to need Cottonee. It's an insta swap out into Dottler. Now, speaking of Dottler, I may or may not have a sweep of that coming up very, very soon. So anyway, I went for Heavy Slam on the Cottonee, and Dottler swapped in, and it did 3 damage. So I got to swap out the Bronzong. Next Pokemon's going to be Aggron. I was like, well, I can go for a Head Smash here. That'll do some solid damage. So Bug Buzz is going to hit my my Aggron pretty hard there. Aggron has got max speed and max attack, and sometimes I got the Rock Polish up, but most of the time it would still get outsped. So Dottler's going to swap out, and the next Pokemon to come in here is going to be the Cottonee. So the Cottonee from the start of the battle. The only bad thing about running heavy metal over Rocket is I'm going to take nasty recoil damage there. So bye-bye to a fair bit of my health there. I thought, well, I could actually go for Endeavor here. Cottonee's going to go for a Giga Drain, and Aggron, unfortunately, is going to be going down. It got outspared. So poor little Aggron there. I mean, its Heavy Slam didn't hit that hard anyway. I mean, it's still probably, I guess it's still a fair, it'd be heavier than Cottonee, I mean, Cottonee would be super light because it's like a little, a cotton seed or something like that. So in comes on my Bronzong here. I don't think Cottonee's got a lot to hit any steel types with, and I'm just going to go for Heavy Slam here. This is easily going to take out Cottonee, probably like 1,000,000 damage to it. So bye-bye Cottonee. Now I'm thinking to myself here, is Dottler going to come in here and use Bug Buzz? Because, my attack should still do all right to it. And then a Cupchew comes in. It's like, okay, wow, I don't get to see Cupchew very often. It's shiny. So shiny's actually not too bad. And on top of that, it's going to be a Dynamax Cupchew. Also, this was a battle against Skull as well, if I didn't mention that at the start. And we've got a Dynamax Cupchew here. Look how big it's like that snot out of it, so it's massive. It's like as big as his arm. I only just noticed that. That's disgusting. Anyway, the shiny snot does look pretty cool, I've got to admit. So here comes a Max Hailstorm. So I don't think this has much to hit me with. or it's trying to activate its ability being Slush Rush. That was my thoughts at this point in the game. So Bronzong can't use Heavy Slam against it because it's in Dynamax, but I decided to go for the Skill Swap here, but Skill Swap also fails against Dynamax Pokemon, which really, really sucks. So I wanted to try and do some like really crazy damage to it, but I thought, let's swap in Bronzong here. I can't do much with this at the moment, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and stall this set out. Now, beware, not beware, they're both bears. Beware of the bears. Cupchew's going to go for a Max Darkness there. I'm guessing that's coming off Crunch, something like that. I'd say it'd be Crunch. That did actually really good damage to my Everlighter Bronzor. Now, there's not a lot I can do. I can either go for Trick Room or Toxic. It's like, let's go for Trick Room. Let's get this one rolling, right? So here comes another Max Darkness on my Bronzor, and that's doing lots of damage. The next one will take me out. So now what I can do is go for Trick Room here, and I can try and set this strategy up, which is going to be with my aggro. I wanted to get some like really, really crazy damage there. I'm not sure if anyone, like there's some really good maths people there that watch this video. You might be able to work out some cool calculations for this, but that'll come up in a sec. So the little Cupchew there, it's out of Dynamax. So I thought, well, I can go for the Heavy Slam here, or I could go for Skill Swap now, because I actually haven't been able to Skill Swap it, so I can give the Cupchew the Heavy Metal ability, which is what I wanted to do. So that's going to double the Cupchew's weight. Not that Cupchew would be a really heavy Pokemon or anything like that, but it'd still be funny. Plus, it's also weak to low kick too. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to let the Bronzor die now that it's set everything up, and I'm going to swap Aggron in and use low kick against it. I wonder how much damage that actually does, because the Aggron is, I'll tell you the Aggron if I haven't already, Max Attack, Adamant Nature, and it's got Choice Band. And I've got low kick on there, and I gave the Cupchew a double. Its weight's been double, so that's going to do like way more damage. It's pretty much overkill. Anyway, Cupchew goes for an Endure. I'm like, oh, come on. And here comes the low kick, and man, I reckon that Cupchew, its entire family tree just got like demolished then. So it's going to eat a little berry. I'm very scared right now, and that is going to boost its attack. So it's a Lychee Berry. So the Hail is going to stop here, but the Trick Room is still up, so I'm going to be able to outspeed that. But that would have been nasty. It might have had a really powerful move right there. I don't know if it had a fighting type move, but that would have been bad if it did. So bye-bye, Cupchew. Our next Pokemon here is going to be the Inteleon. Now, Inteleon, I could use low kick against, so I'm like, nah, I might try and hit this with a Grass Knot. That'd be really cool, if I can, I'm not really sure at this point. Now it's going to go for a Snipe Shot. I'm like, uh-oh, this is going to be bad, because as you know, I'm not running like super bulk on Bronzong, and this move is going to crit too. So bye-bye Bronzong. That shattered my dreams of getting a Grass Knot KO. So that's the end of my Trick Room too. We're going to go into Copperajah here. Now, Copperajah has got Fissure, and it's also got Heavy Slam and Heat Crash. So I thought about this like, well, I don't want to use Fissure just yet. How about going for Heavy Slam? I reckon that'll do a lot of damage to it, because, Inteleon doesn't strike me as a really heavy Pokemon, right? Unless it's got some, I don't know, something hiding in its, I don't know, it's like it's a little clove or something like that. So go for Heavy Slam. Man, that did really, really good damage for a resistant move. Like, Copperajah is really, really heavy too. Like, it's just a big old elephant, right? So we got another Snipe Shot here. This thing was doing a lot of damage to me, as it always does. And, Copperajah with that Max Health was able to live that too, which is nice. And I didn't get credit here. That definitely helped. So go for 2 Heavy Slams, and that's going to be the end of Inteleon. So that's half the team down. We do have that Dot left, but I can go Heat Crash on Dotler, because I haven't actually used that move yet. I haven't revealed it. It could have been fairly obvious that I had it, though, because, I was using, mainly moves that were based around, that would actually help out the Heavy Metal. So I could go for Heat Crash here, and I can definitely take out the Dotler. I know that I'm going to be able to probably outspeed this one as well. Like, Dotler isn't exactly fast too. So go for Heat Crash, and it lived. I was like, wow, I can't believe that lived. Now Dotler's going to go for a Bug Buzz there, and that's going to be the end of Copperajah. Interesting. So I'm guessing that was a Everlighter Dotler too. So bye-bye Copperajah. Now, I've still got my Aggron left here, but I was like, let's go to Duraludon. Last battle, it got just absolutely destroyed, right? So this is a good opportunity. I can go for a Sword Dance, and then I could also go for Heavy Slam. That'd work pretty well. So getting that Sword Dance up here, the EV spread on Duraludon is going to be Jolly Nature, and I've got Max Attack and Max Speed, and I've got the Citrus Berry as the item. I did contemplate actually having Lumbear on this thing, but normally I'd go between those two sets. I just noticed something about Duraludon too. I'm just looking at it. If you look at Duraludon's, actually, just wait for that. If you look at Duraludon's tail, right, it's got like an angry face on there. Like, look at it. It's like super angry face. Looks really angry right now. Anyway, that's going to be the end of the little Dottler right there. There's 2 Pokemon left. Next Pokemon is going to be Poltergeist. Now, this Pokemon does not weigh anything at all. So it's like, wow, Heavy Slam's going to do like 1,000,000 damage. I don't even want to Dynamax here because I don't really need to. I can easily go Heavy Slam and, one-shot it. Unless it's got a Focus Sash, it's going to be dying in one shot. So there we go. I broke the teapot. The tea went everywhere. That is the end of Poltergeist. Now there's only one more Pokemon left. And this Pokemon is going to be the Colossal. So it's like, I don't think Colossal's going to go down to a Heavy Slam here. I mean, I've got Brick Break too, but I want to use Heavy Slam because of Heavy Metal. With this team, I tried to use all the moves that were based and helped out Heavy Metal. So I went for that, and man, it did nothing, even at +2. Here comes a high horsepower from Colossal, and that does a lot of damage. I'm forced here to go for the Dynamax. I don't want to go for like another heavy Slam because it's going to do nothing. I actually need to go for a Max Steel Spike or a Max Whirlwind. I could go for Max Knuckle too, but that could be enough to take it out, but I don't want to risk it living and having some like crazy item like Weakness Policy or like a Pinch Spur or anything like that. So I decided to go for the Dynamax here. Also, I made sure all these Pokemon were accorded a Heavy Ball too because of this team. Heavy Metal, Heavy Ball. I should have said nothing and then maybe no one would have noticed, but maybe you would have noticed then when I Dynamax Duraludon. So I decided to not use Duraludon's G-Max 69 floors. I just used the normal vanilla Duraludon. So go for Max Whirlwind there. Did that have windows inside of its mouth? And that's going to take out the Colossal, and that is the end of the battle. Hope you enjoyed the Heavy Metal ability Pokemon team. I'll be back tomorrow with a double upload, so that should be pretty fun. Peace out, people.